Oh, this sun. So hot it was that my sight became all blurred. My name is Patrick. I will share with you my story. Before we continue with the story, do not forget to click on the notification button in order to get notified at every new video posted. Thank you. I had gotten into the habit of taking what I didn't work for. It was much easier to take than to put in the effort to achieve my goals. Work was for the others. How did I get here? Wait, let me explain. I was the only son of a banker and a female entrepreneur. It's nothing to say that I lacked nothing. I say nothing. I did my studies in a private school and it was very expensive. I had a home and food. And above all, I was stylish. Ah, the good old days. I admit that I should have made better choices. Then came adolescence. I started hanging out with the wrong people just because I needed to be validated, to be accepted. I was ready to do anything to get noticed. So my strategy was bling and flashy. I took some money out of my dad's drawer just to show off on campus. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I came home as if nothing had happened. I made sure no one was there. Dad was at a meeting while Mom was at her shop. I knew exactly where Dad kept money, so I went to their room, opened the drawer, and took out a wad of cash that was there. My parents were not used to hiding money because before this act, I had never stolen. Later that day, we had dinner with Dad, Mom, my sister, and I. And 2 hours after dinner, I heard Dad yelling at me, calling my name in the room. I know exactly why and what he was calling me for, so I hid my emotions behind the most innocent face I could muster. "Patrick," he said in a firm voice. I was panicked but pretended not to know anything and headed for the bedroom. "Daddy, you called me?" "Listen, I don't want to repeat myself. Where did you put the money I put in the drawer?" "But Dad, I don't know. I have nothing," I said with a little innocent voice. "Yes, in other circumstances, I would have really believed you and believed that you have taken nothing from this room, but the surveillance camera filmed you." I was petrified. Shame invaded me. I didn't even have the strength to deny it anymore. I stood there watching him. "It's unfortunate because I didn't raise you like that. I have always kept you from envy. I am going to pretend like nothing happened, but I want to see this money when I get back from the grocery store," he said before going out to buy bread for the next morning. I was too ashamed to have to face my father after what he told me, so I made the difficult decision to run away. I didn't know exactly what Dad was capable of. He could have gone to my teachers to tell them what I had done, and then the news would have spread through the school premises. Oh God, the shame. I couldn't bear so much humiliation. I picked up my phone and some stuff in my backpack and headed to the gate. The first few weeks, I slept in a small hotel in the neighboring town. I still had the money stolen from the house. I didn't even have my high school diploma, so I couldn't get a decent job. I could only do odd jobs, and clearly the standard of living I did have was not equal to the lifestyle I had with my family. I washed dishes, mowed the lawn, and even washed restaurant toilets, but I didn't still have enough to eat properly and pay for my room. I finally got fed up and told myself that maybe working honestly wasn't enough to make a better living, so I decided to become a thief. Mind you, I didn't want to join a gang, and more, it was very restrictive for me, so I chose to operate alone. First of all, I had to do some scouting in the city, find out where there were frequent crowds, and choose my mode of operation. All of these strategies were meant to keep me from getting caught. Getting caught stealing meant getting killed, and of course I had no intention of ending up skewered. So I went around the city and put together my plan. I specialized in stealing cell phones. It was easy. They were small, so easy to transport, and above all, practical to resell. The first shots went like clockwork, and among the loot there were 2 iPhones, and I had at least 300,000 francs worth of pocket money. Just like that. I tasted it and I got addicted. I always wanted more. So I multiplied the blows. Day and night was causing so much havoc in the area that I caught the attention of other pickpockets in the same area. It was not good for their business. There was someone else stealing the show from them. I had to get ousted. They ambushed me and beat me to give me a warning. So I made the decision to move away from there and find another corner where I was going to make money without risking my life. I went to set up my headquarters in the administrative district. I changed my modus operandi. Now I stole during the peak hours, right when the workers were leaving work and going out on break. During these times, they tended to be in a hurry, so were less vigilant. That's where I came in and took in their cell phones and wallets. In addition, I was very clean and well dressed. No one was suspicious of me. I raged for whole weeks, flying here and there without getting caught. It had become a second nature, and all the money I got went into future pleasures. Anyway, my strategy was perfectly oiled. I had nothing to fear at first. Well, that is what I thought. It was a Thursday afternoon, breaking time. It was time for me to go out and work, if you understand what I mean. It was very hot, but nothing could stop me from taking action. I saw this young lady get into a taxi. She had on a loose dress. I assumed she was going on her lunch break. She was an easy prey, so I followed her. She took a taxi that was to drop her off 2 streets away. I got into the same taxi and we started driving. I had to make a diversion at all costs, so I started a debate which immediately swept the driver and the lady into a heated discussion. It was so easy to send them flying. I smirked. It didn't take long. 2 other men entered the taxi and one thing led to the other and also plunged into a discussion. It was so friendly that everyone let down their guard, and suddenly I was able to extract the phone from the 2 gentlemen and the lady who was the main target. I told you, it was so easy that I thought the stars were on my side. As expected, the lady got off, but to my surprise, the 2 other passengers and the driver turned to me and asked me to search my pockets and bring out their contents. My heart jumped. I knew they were going to make me drool if they saw their phones in my possession, so I tried to distract them and started yelling and threatening them. And then I noticed that the lady that had gotten out of the taxi was still there in front of us and trying to make a call. I didn't understand anything, but I had taken her phone. It couldn't be possible. I didn't even have time to figure out what was going on when the 2 men inside grabbed me by the belt and pulled me out of the car, then searched my pockets. Then one of them told me my rights. Oh my God! I was in the hands of the police. They had set a trap on me. They had made me get out of the taxi. I was barefoot. They made me sit on the tarmac. What I could remember clearly was the sun beating down so hard. My heart was pounding. I wondered what my fate would be. Between regret and anguish, I was taken to the police station. I underwent a long interrogation, betting on the fact that there would be no many witnesses. I denied everything. Mistake. I was underestimating what was brewing. 2 hours later, other witnesses arrived. They all gave testimonies that matched how I stole their cell phones. And to top it off, I had been arrested red-handed. I broke down and confessed the facts. A search was made where I lived and all the cell phones that I had not yet sold were found. I was there like a rat. The feeling of shame I had felt the day my dad caught me in the act of stealing rebounded, and I burst into tears. I should have followed the right path. I should have listened to the way of reason and worked honestly. What got into me? 2 weeks later, my trial took place. I was found guilty of aggravated robbery. My sentence was 5 years in prison. It broke my heart. How could a boy from a good family sink so low? Yet I had everything I needed. Despite this, I served my sentence, and for good behavior, I was relieved 2.5 years later. During my stay in prison, I joined a reintegration program for young offenders. I went back to school and graduated from high school. Back into the life of a free man, I resumed my studies. This arrest opened my eyes. I enrolled in law school to become a lawyer. Today, everything is fine with my parents, and my mom confessed to me that she was proud of me.